Have you ever really stopped to think about what goes on behind those high walls and locked gates of a prison? Beyond all the drama we see in the movies, there's this whole other world, and it's governed by incredibly strict rules and just constant vigilance. Today, we're going to unlock that world. We're diving into an official manual that literally dictates the every move of a prison warder. We're going to follow a day in their life, from the first light of dawn through the long day and deep into the dead of night.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get into their core mission, what's called the guarding mandate. Then, we'll walk through a typical morning of work and inmate movement. After that, we'll see how they lock the entire place down for the night. We'll stand with them on the night watch, then move to the super high-stakes sentry post. And we'll finish up by really thinking about the incredible responsibility they carry every single day. So, let's start at the very beginning. What is the absolute foundation of a prison warder's job? Well, it all kicks off with something called the guarding mandate. And the key thing to know is that this is a collective responsibility shared by every single person in the guarding establishment. And this definition from the manual, it really lays it all out, doesn't it? This is not just about watching inmates. No, it's a total package deal. You're guarding people, you're protecting property, you're managing who comes in and out, and you're doing any other lawful duty that's required to keep that secure bubble intact. This right here. This is the bedrock of their entire world inside those walls.
Okay, so the sun comes up, the prison starts to stir, and the warder's day really begins. But morning isn't about chaos. It's about establishing a rhythm of absolute control. And that's achieved through routine and just constant supervision.
Even something that sounds as simple as moving a group of prisoners from one spot to another, it's like a highly choreographed event. The rules are totally non-negotiable. You keep order, you don't let anyone hang around or loiter, and they always march in a neat file 2 by 2. This isn't just to be tidy, it's a fundamental tool for stamping out disorder before it even has a chance to start.
And once the prisoners get to their workstations, the warder has to become a master multitasker. It's this constant balancing act. On one hand, they're the tough supervisor, right? Making sure work gets done, reporting anyone breaking the rules. But on the other side of that coin, they're also tasked with the prisoner's welfare, watching for any signs of sickness, making sure complaints are actually heard. It's a delicate dance between discipline and humanity, every single minute of the day.
Now, after a long day of labor, the entire focus of the prison shifts. The work is done, but believe me, the warder's job is far from over. In fact, one of the most critical phases of the day is just getting started. The lockdown.
And this is the question that probably keeps a lot of prison staff up at night. Just picture it, a workshop filled with hammers, screwdrivers, all sorts of tools. Now imagine your job is to make sure every single one is back where it belongs. The stakes, they couldn't be any higher.
Because in this environment, you have to look at everything differently. A missing wrench isn't just a lost item, it's a weapon. A forgotten ladder isn't just clutter, it's a way to escape. Every single object has to be seen through this lens of security. It's a total shift in perspective.
So the process for dealing with this threat is almost like a ritual. It's that serious. It's not just about grabbing the tools. No, they're checked against a master list, they're physically counted and examined, they're locked away in a secure store, and if anything is missing, even one tiny screw, it gets reported immediately. There is absolutely zero room for error.
And this really shows you the two sides of security. You've got the big stuff, the institutional property, things like ropes, ladders, anything that could be used for an escape. But then you have this intense personal responsibility that every single warder carries. Their keys are their lifeline. They can never, ever be misplaced or left unattended. The security of the whole prison can literally hang on a single key.
As darkness falls, a whole different kind of tension settles over the prison. The noise of the day just fades away, but for the warder on the night watch, the need for vigilance, well, it only gets more intense.
Think about that for a second. Throughout the entire night, every 2 hours, minimum, a head count has to be done. It's this relentless, repetitive cycle, all designed to make sure that every single person is present and accounted for. There is no real rest on the night watch. Their checklist is just a testament to their role as the prison's guardian while it sleeps. They are constantly on patrol, physically checking the locks, the doors, the walls. They're making sure there are no dark corners where trouble could be hiding. And they are the absolute first line of response for any emergency you can think of, a medical crisis, a fire, or the one thing everyone fears most, an escape. This specific rule, wow, it just says it all.
Even in the quietest, most solitary moments of a patrol, the discipline has to be absolute. You stay on your feet, you stay in your uniform, and you stay ready. It just underscores this state of perpetual readiness that's demanded of them from the second their shift starts until the second it ends.
And that state of readiness, it really culminates in what is maybe the most isolated and high-stakes role in the whole security system, the armed sentry. They are, quite literally, the final line of defense.
Now, it's really important to get the distinction here. A warder manages the population inside the prison, and armed sentries' focus is outward. They're stationed up in watchtowers or at the main gates, working in these short, intense 2-hour shifts, and they're equipped with firearms, guarding the perimeter against any breach, whether it's from the inside or the outside.
And their rules of engagement, they're crystal clear and completely rigid. If anyone suspicious even gets close, they have to be challenged and told to stop. At night, you have to know the password. And that last rule is absolute. A prisoner is never, under any circumstance, allowed to approach a sentry post. That is a bright, clear line that you just do not cross.
And this little detail, it perfectly captures the deeply ingrained, almost military-style hierarchy of the system. I mean, even the way a sentry is supposed to greet an official is written down in the rules. A top-ranking director general gets a full present arms salute, while an assistant superintendent gets a slope arms. It seems like a small thing, but it speaks volumes about the structure, the discipline, and the respect for the chain of command.
So, as we start to piece all of this together, the morning routines, the lockdown protocols, that lonely night watch, you really begin to feel it, don't you? The true weight of the keys, the immense and often invisible burden of all this responsibility.
Which brings us right back to this line from the very beginning. See, it's not about one person being a hero, it's about a collective. It's a team of people who are all sharing this one mandate where a single mistake by just one of them could put everyone in danger. And this reveals one of the system's most crucial psychological tools. Warders are constantly rotated through different posts, and that's not just for change of scenery. It's a very deliberate strategy to prevent familiarity from setting in. The system is designed to manage the human element itself, because in this line of work, a personal relationship is seen as a security risk.
And that kind of leaves us with this final thought. We've seen this incredibly detailed system of rules, designed for total, absolute control. But behind every single one of those protocols, there's a person making a judgment call. Behind every locked door, there's a human being holding the key. Which really makes you wonder, is this truly just a system of rules? Or is it a world that rests entirely on the shoulders of individual human responsibility?